Hi, my name is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. I am a former public school teacher and am currently homeschooling one of my 3 kids. Today I am going to walk you through the curriculum that we chose to use this past year and to give you many reviews about the curriculum so that you can decide if this is something that would work for you and your child. Okay, so let's get started. So the very first thing that I thought about doing or I wanted to look at was for vocabulary. And so what we started with this last year was Wordly Wise. Now with this, I did not do it exactly like it asked you to do. So what we did instead was we would spend 1 week going over the words that I wanted him to know a little bit more, and he would do a word journal. And in this, he would need to, if I showed you everything, he'd probably get mad at me. He would write the word down. It also has a place to do a definition and a sentence, draw a picture, and write a story. Now you can do all those things or just some of them and you can choose, but I thought that was a really good way for him to focus on a particular word. He'd focus in on the assignments that came in with the Wordly Wise. I like that. We did not get through the whole thing. This is actually something that we will continue to work on because there's still vocabulary in here that he doesn't know. Will I continue using this after we get through it? You know what? I honestly don't know. I can't say that I love this, but I don't hate this. The other thing is his handwriting is a little bit of a struggle, and not everybody in 6th grade probably feels like they need to do a handwriting. So we went ahead and did a reason for handwriting C. And I liked it because it was quick and easy. It's just 4 days a week where he needed to kind of do something. It wasn't something that really required a lot of brain work for him, but overall it was helping him slow down and just kind of work on his handwriting. And I still like it. I still think that we'll probably have some form of handwriting even next year just because I think it's something that would be good for him. Now, would I suggest handwriting for everybody? Absolutely not. I think that might be child by child. When they're younger and they're working and forming letters, then that would be great. But as they get older, if you have somebody that already has really nice handwriting and really neat handwriting, this is not necessarily something that I think you need to add in. It's something I would actually eliminate, and I would probably do typing or something like that instead. Now, to get on to a couple of my very favorite things that we did. For grammar, we went with the Fix-It grammar. Love this. You get 4 sentences in a week, just 1 sentence each day. The entire book is a story, so you add on to it week by week. They add on to concepts as you go, so you start off with just a few and then it just builds throughout the year. Now you probably could go even a little bit faster than what we did, but I wasn't in a rush. I just kind of wanted to take my time and really get him to understand the parts of speech. And I will tell you, from teaching 6th grade, I wish I would have had something like this to structure for my students when I taught. I really like how they built on the concepts and how you add to it. So as a parent, there's not a lot that you have to even do with this as far as instructions. You sit down with them on that very first day of the week, you introduce the new concept, you go through that first sentence together, and then after that you review. When they correct a sentence, you look at it and you review it with them. They then do it like a copy work and write the thing, and at the end of the year they'll have a whole story written grammatically correct. And so they get that, again, for him, some handwriting practice, which he still needs. But he's really understanding his different parts of speech, and we will definitely get the next book in this series. Loved, loved, love it. Now what is great is you don't necessarily have to know everything. If you feel like that this is not your strength, that's okay, because you can get the teacher book with that, and it marks everything it marks everything in it, but it also will tell you things like maybe they didn't mark something yet, and it would explain. I'm trying to open up a page for you. The why. So what you can see is you have a sentence here. This is week 7, day 1, and it shows you everything that they need to edit at this point. And then it also has some other notes. if you're not interested in adding on like a wordly wise or something vocabulary, this includes vocabulary. So you could just get by with just doing this, because every day they have a vocabulary word that is bolded in their sentence that they're supposed to look up and have a vocabulary section that goes with this. So that is another really great benefit of this. So it will go through and give you some grammar notes. And as you go, it gets a little bit more complicated. The sentences get longer. It will explain if there's something, if they marked it, that's great. If it's something, a concept that they haven't learned yet, but they marked it a certain way, it'll totally walk you through everything. So you will feel like the expert as you are going through and teaching them grammar. Now, the thing that goes along with this so fabulously, and I will tell you now, it's spendy, but worth every penny. This is the IEW, as I get a glare, IEW Student Intensive Writing, or Student Writing Intensive. I cannot say enough good things about this. This is fabulous. It walks you through writing in a way, again, I wish I had this when I taught 6th grade. I wish I would have known about this. It goes through so many, it starts off basic. It follows a lot of the same patterns as your Fix-It would, as it introduces things. They're very similar. Every lesson tells you what to do. Now this comes with disc for the kids to watch, so you don't even have to be the teacher. Now it does have a special set of discs for parents to watch. That's super duper pricey, and I don't think you necessarily need to do that. I had a friend that loaned that to me, and that was great. But if you watch the same disc that your child, the student, is watching, you'll be just fine. But you do need to watch it so that you know what they're doing. You need to read this. You need to be aware of what's coming so that you can map it out. But it breaks down writing in such a good way. It teaches them how to take notes. They'll be better researchers, how to rewrite things. By the way that they do this, when they're writing things, they will learn how not to plagiarize. Even though that's not a word that comes up, that's still something that they're learning. And that is one of the hardest things for students to learn, especially if they're doing research papers and kids get into high school and college. That is such a hard thing because they feel as though the person that wrote it the first time wrote it so well, they can't think of how to change it. And just the way that he teaches this is phenomenal. If you can get this in your budget, you will not regret it. This is amazing. Now, for next year, there is a continuation that you can do. It says within you can do it 1 year or 2 years. I'm hoping to do it for the 2 years. We need to look at it because it's spendy too. But if it is anything like this, I will not regret that purchase. It is fabulous. Now, the last real big core thing that we had, of course, was math. And again, I chose something a little spendy. There's a pattern here. But as I was looking for things for him, I really wanted to find what would help motivate him and what would help him do the best that he can. So, teaching textbooks. Now, this comes with disc. Everything can be on the computer. It will grade it for them. It teaches them, grades it for them, walks it through it. It's fabulous. What I like about this is that it frees up time. So if you have multiple kids that you were teaching, this would free up time for you to work with somebody else. It also, for him, it makes it fun. He likes the computer. You put math on the computer, it's not math, it's plain. And I suggest that before you decide what level of math to do, they have some what do you call those? Assessment. So like a pre-assessment to see where you would fall so that you can get exactly where you need to be. And I think that's really nice. Another thing I liked about this is that with every lesson, it is incorporating problems from past lessons. And so you're constantly reviewing past problems and you're never just concentrating on one concept and then another concept. You're always getting multiple concepts and reviewing those. And so I think it just really helps them to keep it fresh and to remember it and to build on it. So again, if you have this in your budget, strongly recommend it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Now I do know that this is the 2.0 and the 2.0 is the one that grades it for you. So I would make sure that you get at least the 2.0, you get the 2.0 with this. So on to science and social studies. I did not have a set reading curriculum for my child. I'm not really worried. He reads all the time. That is actually a problem that we have. I have to ask him to put the book away so that he can actually do other things. So we were just going to introduce different books. I suggested different authors. So we did author studies and things like that. So we didn't have a set curriculum for that. For social studies this year, so what I decided to do, because it reads like a book, let me start with the first one, is Story of the World. He did not want to stop reading this. He just wanted to read the whole thing. I went ahead with this one and I got the activity book for him. Now, I'll be honest, if you have younger kids, I think this could be great. It gives you some ideas, it gives you some other books, and we did. I looked at some of the books in here and we would check those out so he would have more things to read about particular subjects and chapters that we were reading. But as far as the activities and things, those were not of an interest to him. I think this is definitely geared towards your younger kids. But as far as like how this reads and the information that it provides, he really enjoyed it, and he was able to do it. Because he could read that and he wanted to do, I went ahead and got the next book, and I will get all 4 books for him to read, but I won't continue with the activity books for him because those are not things that he likes. And so I will add to it by looking at other books in the library, picking a particular subject and maybe doing a research paper on it. And just kind of coming up with our own stuff that goes along with it. I do like the books themselves, and I think the idea of everything is really great. I think you just need to look at what would work for your child and the age of your child. For science, I wanted to make sure that we had something that would be of interest to him. He really loves learning about different rocks. He really loves space and solar systems. And so we went with Christian Kids Explore Earth and Space. Again, very, very young and juvenile. So we didn't end up using this to its full extent. So he would read through it. It was fine. It was information. He liked it. He could plow through this. That was not a big deal. But it gave us ideas on what we could do for further research. So it was a good outline, I would say, for him. If you have younger kids, I think it could be really good. So it's not like a bad curriculum. I just say it's not the best curriculum for an older child, but it was a good outline. Something fun we threw in this had some puzzles and crosswords and things like that for him. And so he liked being able to do something like that for fun. But a lot of our science was more using this for an outline so that it would give us what we needed to find. And then we'd go get books from the library and do more research, or go online and Google things and look at YouTube videos or listen to podcasts. So this just became a good foundation for us. I hope that you were able to find some value in this video. Hopefully some of this curriculum will be something that you could use for your family. If you have any questions about any of it, if you need some further reviews, some better insight, please leave a question in the comments for me below. I would love to answer your questions. And if you haven't already, could you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? I would really appreciate it. I hope today you can find some calm in your crazy and some order in your chaos. I'll see you in the next video.